Hi, it's Mrs. Swain, and I am hanging out upside down in room 20, and I am about to help you understand partial sums a little better. So we have a problem 58 plus 26. Now, the first thing we do when we're adding numbers, especially big numbers, is we do a ballpark estimate. A ballpark estimate is when you think about close but easy numbers. Now, when we say close but easy numbers, we mean that when we look on the number grid and we see a number like 26, we know that 26 is between 20 and 30. We think about which one is closer, and then we think that that's the number we're going to use in the ballpark estimate. We discovered in class that all of the easiest numbers in our number grid are in the tens column because counting by tens is one of the easiest ways to count. So when you're looking for a number, you first have to find the easy ones and then see which one is closer. So for a ballpark estimate for 58 plus 26, we think about 58. You can find it on the number grid. And then you need to think, is 58 closer to 50 or 60? Yep, it's closer to 60. For our next number, we think about 26. Is 26 closer to 20 or 30? Yep, it's closer to 30. So that gives us 60 plus 30. And that is a ballpark estimate we can do pretty easily in our heads because we know 6 plus 3 is 9. So 60 plus 30 is 90. The purpose of doing a ballpark estimate before we do the math is that we know mathematicians make mistakes all the time. A ballpark estimate gets our brains ready to know what to expect from our answer. If we get an answer that's way off from our ballpark estimate, that's one way to check ourselves. Now that we've done our ballpark estimate, we're ready to start working out 58 plus 26. Now, with partial sums, we've talked about how breaking numbers up into parts can make things easier for us. So, when we look at the number 58, we know that there are 5 tens, and we know that there are 8 ones. Okay? 58 has two parts, the tens and the ones. So in class, we've decided to write these numbers out to the side. It doesn't really quite matter what order they're in. So the first part of 58 is right in its name, 50. And then I'm going to write the second part of 58, the 8. We talked about how 50 and 8 are two parts that make 58. Now we do the same thing with 26. 26 has two parts also. One part of the 26 is 20. And the other part of 26 is this part, the 1, 6. Now we've written out all the parts in our problem. Now when I'm adding up these numbers, we talked about how adding the ones that are most similar will make things easier. I'm going to add the tens first because I see that 50 and 20 will be pretty easy for me to add. When I add these numbers together, I get 70. I'm going to cross off the 50 and cross off the 20, and I'm going to write 70 to keep track of my thinking. Now I'm going to look at the ones. I see 8 plus 6 is a fact that I know fluently. I know that 8 plus 6 is 14. So I'm going to write 14 and cross off the 8 and 6 to keep track of my thinking. Now I have 70 and 14. 70 and 14 are a lot easier to add than 58 and 26. We've talked about how we didn't add anything or take anything away from this problem. We just moved the numbers around to make it easier. I know that 70 plus 14 is 84, which gives me my answer. Now I check myself. Is 84 pretty close to 90? Yes, it is. My answer makes sense.